my dears, in love and light. I'm Nikki Sutton, and this is Could Your Physical Illness Have a Spiritual Cure? And ways to know and heal. Now, the body really is generated by the mind. All is thought, and I won't go into the quantum mechanics of it now, but there's actual scientific evidence to prove that this is an energetic, information-based reality affected by our consciousness. And our body contains atoms just like everything else does, which comes into being really when consciousness is focused upon it. So what we're talking about today is the physical body and physical illnesses and how it could have a mental cause and a spiritual cure. So if you take depression, for example, depression is an upset mind, it's unresolved grief, it's an inability to function optimally because there's traumas in there that are very much unresolved. Now, this can cause physical symptoms, for example, exhaustion and fatigue. And oftentimes people can come down with unexplained chronic fatigue, that there's no explainable reason for it medically. And I propose that a lot of the time it's a very mental thing. Now, someone might have chronic fatigue and say, well, there's nothing wrong with me, and they might feel sort of mentally okay perhaps, but oftentimes there is something there, something that we might have buried a bit, or something we feel like we have come to terms with already, but really it needs re-examining. So all of this is negative energy. And negative energy will accumulate within the physical body complex because it has nowhere else to go. So if you're having negative thought patterns and holding a negative vibration for a prolonged period of time, and this isn't being expelled, for example, through conversation, getting out verbally, or in other physical ways like some kind of physical exercise, or through doing inner work and healing your hurt, then this negative energy gets put somewhere in your body complex because, as I say, it has nowhere else to go. So here's another example. Symptoms of stress. So stress is of the mind because we're perceiving that everything is too much, we've got a lot to do, we need to get things done, or there's problems that we perceive we need to solve. And stress has physical symptoms too. For example, diarrhea or having tummy upset. And there we go again. It's causing the body to react, and the negative energy is going somewhere else. And stress also has a big impact on the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems. So the sympathetic nervous system is the fight or flight nervous system. It tenses your muscles, it gets your adrenaline going. Your brain says it's time for action. So the body responds, the heartbeat speeds up and everything gets ready. And stress does this, it causes the body to behave this way. And then the parasympathetic nervous system is the opposite. It releases it all, it relaxes the muscles, it slows the heartbeat, it levels out your body chemistry and things like that. So that's the mind affecting the body. But if the sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight response, is active for too long, then the body can get really burnt out. It's too much, it's negative energy, it's all the negative energy from up here going down everywhere, around the whole body, and the body is unable to maintain this or expel negative energies from worry and fear and anxiety, and then it starts to malfunction because pockets of negative energy throughout the body complex cause malfunctions. Stress can also cause headaches as well, plus increased number of infections, so it affects your immune system. So we perceive we're very ill or always getting unwell, and it's the mind that's causing this, too much stress. So we need to do spiritual work to find a place in our minds where the world can go on around us and we don't get so stressed. We don't get so triggered by everything, because things may happen as they do, but it's our response within that matters to the extent that we get stressed, because it is within the mind. Now here's an example of a physical ailment caused by a mental condition. So I had a friend who, during a time of turmoil in her relationship, it was a relationship breakup, she happened to break her hand. And it was healing during this breakup, and then they parted company. It was a stressful time for her. Now, every time in the new relationship she has a stressful time and that things are not going so well, even though her hand is fully healed, her hand starts hurting. So it's a mental memory of a time, a trauma that happened where she went through this very hard breakup, and the mind associated it with a painful hand. So when she goes through like circumstances, the hand starts hurting again, but doesn't hurt at other times. So in this way, we can see that in your past, for example, in your childhood, if you sustained an injury, for example, and made the association with something, it can cause a ghost form of that injury, or pains or accumulation of energy to dog you later on in life. For example, you might have broken your leg as a child and received much more care from your parents during that time. So it may be that as you go further into life, as you grow up, when there comes times when you're receiving no validation or love, your leg might start hurting or aching because there's this desire to receive more love. It's an association, you see. So there might be these associations and body memory of injuries, or it might be collections of negative energy. Now, on the topic of collections of negative energy, here's an example. My mum, when she gets particularly stressed, she'll break out in a rash on her back. I don't know if she'll really want me saying this, but never mind. So she'll get a rash on her back when she is stressed. And then when she's feeling better, she'll even say, "Oh, I'm a bit stressed. I've got this rash again. I need to calm down." And when she's better, the rash will go away. So here's another perfect example of a physical manifestation of thoughts, negative feelings and emotions manifesting in the physical body complex. So high vibrational energy corresponds with positive thoughts, as you probably already know, and low vibrational energy corresponds with negative thoughts. So being of a high vibration, having generally more positive thoughts and emotions than you do negative ones, should help to generally clear these. But it can be true that you may feel happy day to day, but you'll still have some nagging ailment because it was caused by some trauma that has not been healed. And so therefore, inner work is needed. And I can't go through the whole of inner work in this video, but I have a whole playlist on inner work to get you started, and I will add to it over time. So I'll leave a link in the description to that. But that is key. It's healing those hurts from the past, exposing them to your conscious mind of today and re-reasoning them with understanding and acceptance and forgiveness. And oftentimes this energy can then be released. It's like it comes out of the subconscious and goes away into the ether, and miraculously that part of your body feels better, or that ailment or overall condition you have feels better. People who see auras actually can detect these negative spots of energy, and I have videos on how to see auras as well. So this would be perceived as perhaps a dark patch in your aura, your electromagnetic field, if you will. It is darkened because the energy is unable to be free flowing for you. So you'd need healing methods to help your energy flow. And various ones are as follows. So that's what Reiki is for. You can visit a Reiki practitioner. That is what acupuncture is for. It frees up blockages in energy using your meridian points and helps energy flow through your being. You may need several sessions, but I recommend it. It's very good. That's also what my subconscious exploration and healing sessions are for on my website on nickysutton.com, because that's a healing of the mind. So we might go into parts of the mind and try and explore and figure out what's going on in your mind and use various techniques to heal them and find out how you feel and improve things in there for you and help you feel better. And that can help your physical body feel better. But the overall thing that I would definitely recommend as well is doing that inner work, as I said, and healing those hurts from the past. It may be something like, say, during your childhood, there was some ongoing negative circumstance, and it could have caused things like fear, anxiety, guilt, shame, trust issues, different things, various types of things. And you may also be experiencing these symptoms today emotionally as well as the physical ailment. You may have depression or a sense of dread every day. So I say that if you have physical conditions and an accompanying mental symptoms as well, emotional symptoms, it may well be that if you do that inner work and healing, then your physical condition can improve. So finding those original causes for your physical ailment, if you can't find a physical cure and you've been to the doctor plenty and there's nothing they can do, consider a mental solution. Heal those original causes. See if you can find them. Go into a relaxed state and look for them. And there's videos on that in my inner work playlist. You may have experienced grief in the past. There may be unresolved grief. You may have lost someone. It doesn't mean they died, but they may have left your life somehow. Or you may be grieving some circumstance or life events that happened. Unresolved grief too, when not addressed properly, it finds somewhere else to go in the physical body complex, and that negative energy can cause you ailments. So I hope that goes some way to help you feel physically better today and bring some more understanding on how the mind can generate these things. Now, I'm not saying it's all in your mind. That's not a very nice thing to say, is it? But what I am saying is that everything is pretty much in our minds, because thought creates our reality. So I hope that's been helpful today and shed some light on other ways that you can perhaps heal your physical ailments and feel better. Support this Spiritual Awakening YouTube channel on Patreon and receive weekly bonus videos. You can also choose to receive spiritual guidance via email or spiritual sessions. And leave me and others a comment to let us know how you feel and ways that you've used to feel better. And don't forget to click subscribe if you're not already a subscriber to receive regular spiritual inspiration on your journey through life. Like and share also, because we're raising the mass vibration together. So go now in love and peace.